What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. As always, a huge thanks for coming back. And as always, if you like what you see, leave a like and don't forget to subscribe. So now, like I've been saying for the last couple of weeks, we're finally getting back to some OBS content. I know that the last couple of videos haven't been that exciting. Sorry about that, guys. But today the plan was to install this, which is just a little switch that I'm going to be using to as basically a fuel pump cutoff. If you're wondering why I want to do that, that's because my fuel pump on my e-fuel kit is really loud. And whenever you're trying to do any diagnostics, that thing, that you have to have the key on, that thing's always on, and it's really annoying. Or if you're trying to do anything else with the key on and the truck not running, it is really annoying to hear that thing just always running. So, and also I think that it's probably not good for it to, run like that without the truck actually running for extended periods of time. I think it's better that if you can control whenever we want it on or off. So that's why I went ahead and picked up this simple on-off switch from AutoZone. Now, like I said, that's hopefully the plan for today's video. But the first thing I got to do is actually diagnose a problem that the truck is having. I'm actually having a low fuel pressure problem, and hopefully it's just as simple as the truck being low on fuel, which it happens to all of us. I actually let it go under a quarter tank, probably under an eighth of a tank, and I'm hoping that that's the only problem that this thing has, that it's low on fuel. So it's a little windy out here today, so I'm sorry if you get a lot of wind noise. But I went ahead and picked up 5 gallons of diesel. We're gonna throw it on this thing, and hopefully that solves our low fuel pressure problems. Again, hopefully the wind noise isn't too bad. But, I'm gonna go ahead and fill up this thing. Okay, so as I'm editing this, I realized that I sound pretty dumb. But the reason why I wasn't sure if the low fuel pressure was because of the truck being low on fuel or not is because I've gotten the truck this low before, actually more than once, and it hasn't given me this problem. So I wasn't sure if it was going to be that or not, but that's what I started with, and it ended up being that. So yeah. So hopefully this solves the problem. Okay, so let's see if it's fixed. Now, like I said, I think it is going bad because it takes a little while for it to build up pressure, so I definitely think the pump is going bad. I mean, it built up pressure. So it's got pressure. It sounds good. So I'm gonna let it idle for a little bit, and then we'll go ahead and drive it around. And like I said, hopefully it fixed it. Before, just by driving around the block, I would get it to go low on fuel pressure. So hopefully that it was just low on fuel. Okay, guys, so we just made it back home, and this thing seems like it's running pretty good now. So I guess it was the low fuel pressure. Now I went on not that long of a drive, but long enough to where it started causing me problems last time that I took it out. So I think it's good. The fuel pressure on it is right where I had it set at. It hasn't moved at all. It's been rock solid. So I think it was just low in diesel. So let this be a lesson for me that don't let your trucks get below like an eighth of a tank. They don't like it. Now, this fuel pressure and the one on the engine, they don't read the same. This one's about 5 psi higher than this fuel pressure. So I just go off by that one. And I have it set at 65 psi. I believe that's what the instructions on the kit said. So that's just what I set it to. But basically what I'm trying to do is this right here. This cable is my my fuel pump, I guess key on wire. So whenever I hit the key, the fuel pump comes on. And now you can hear why I hate the way that thing sounds. It just sounds horrible. And like I said, I'm gonna be even though it wasn't a fuel pump issue, I still think that fuel pump is not right. It has always sounded horrible. I've got the fuel screens in the tank, and it has never sounded good. And like I said, it's pretty slow to build up pressure, so I'm still gonna go ahead and call them and see if that's something normal. But that's something that I wanted to say about, you know, try to do the simplest thing first. Like I said, my truck still said that it had fuel, and depending on what angle it was showing almost a quarter tank. But yeah, I could have called them up and been like, hey, you know, what's up, this fuel pump's not working, and then I would have looked like a fool, you know, because it was just low on fuel. So anyways, just try and start with the simplest thing and the cheapest thing first. So anyways, now that I have that figured out, what I gotta try and figure out is how I'm gonna splice that switch in, because that's all it is. You're just splicing a little switch that kind of breaks the connection when you don't want it there, when you don't want there to be a connection right there. Now, in theory, you could use this as a kill switch so that they don't try and steal your truck. The problem with this fuel pumps is that in the past, I've killed power to it by just disconnecting this fuse. This is the fuse that goes to the fuel pump. This is the power cable, I guess, that goes to the fuel pump. And I disconnected this fuse, that fuse. I've taken it out, and it shuts the pump off. But the truck still runs with whatever fuel is still on the line, and it runs for a little bit until it runs out of fuel, and then it completely, then it dies. So it'll run for a little bit and then it'll die, and then you gotta fire it back up and kind of prime the system, and it runs like crap for a little bit, and you know, it's just not good on it. And you basically have to, whenever you switch it off, you have to remember to switch it back on, because the truck will start, but then you'll run out of fuel in the line and you'll be like, what the hell? And it's just not fun. So that's why, like I said, I don't recommend installing this as a kill switch. Like I said, you can if you want to, but I don't recommend it. This is just more so that whenever I'm working on the truck or diagnosing something or installing lights and I gotta test them out, I can shut off the fuel pump and do what I gotta do, and then once I drive it, I gotta make sure to remember to flip it back on. But yeah, that was a pretty long explanation. Hopefully I got my point across. I know that sometimes I don't, but I'm basically just installing this to be able to turn on and off the pump whenever I want to. And knowing myself, I know that I'm gonna forget to turn it back on sometimes. And the easiest way to do this would be just to like splice it in the middle right there and just leave it where it's at. But like I said, because I know that knowing myself, I'm gonna forget to turn it back on. I'm gonna try and figure out a way to bring those cables into the cab so I can mount this in the cab. So I'm gonna go ahead, figure all that out, see where I wanna put it, see where I wanna splice it. I might actually end up moving the switch on that thing. So to anyone that's actually new to the channel, I haven't even said, I think, what fuel system I have in this. I have an irate fuel system, e-fuel system on this thing. So we got our fuel pump right here, and then this is their full kit. So it's their regulator return with their fuel regulator and everything right here. And I get this question asked all the time on how I wired the key on or the switched power to my fuel pump. And I basically chose to just wire it to my glow plug relay. This isn't my stock glow plug relay. This is the White Rogers relay, so it's basically like a heavy duty relay. And I basically just installed it on the switch key on side of it, and that's how I get my pump to fire on. But what I'm trying to do is find another place that I can put it that it'll be a little bit cleaner and it'll do what I want to do. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and find that. Okay guys, I actually skipped ahead a little bit because I forgot to add this to the beginning of the video. But go support my my friend, That's Sexy 7.3. He just made a new YouTube channel. You might know him from Instagram. Now he has a YouTube channel, and right now he's doing an axle swap using one of my tester kits that I sent him. So go ahead and check out his channel, subscribe to him. He has 2 videos out right now, and he's just getting started on this. So go show him some support. Again, check out his channel, subscribe. I'll have a link right here, and I'll have the actual link to the channel down below. So go check him out. Now let's get back to the video. Okay guys, so I've been working on this thing for a little bit, and I just kind of wanted to figure everything out and make sure that the way that I was gonna do it was gonna work. So let me kind of get you guys caught up. By the way, I haven't used this thing in a while, and I figured that I'll kind of bring it out and use it. This is my topside creeper. I freaking love this thing. If you're gonna be doing anything in the engine bay of these things, I highly recommend you guys get yourselves one of these. I got it on Amazon. I believe the link should be in the bottom of all my videos, but if it's not, I'm gonna go ahead and put it. I highly recommend these things. Pretty much anyone that knows me knows that my back is all screwed up. It always hurts, and especially when I'm bent over doing anything like that, it kills me. And this thing literally saves my back. So if you have any back problems, or if you don't want to have back problems, I highly recommend these things. Again, like I said, I'll leave a link down below. But anyways, let me unlock it and move it out of the way a little bit. So I know that earlier today I said that I was gonna move this cable and put it somewhere else. I decided not to. It's been working fine the way that it is. It hasn't given me any problems or anything like that, so I am gonna leave it there. Now that trigger wire goes all the way to this relay, which there's only 3 cables coming out of this relay. You have your power, which goes from here to the relay and then back to the pump. You have your ground, which goes from there to the relay, and again I think it goes back to the pump. And you have your trigger wire. This one I'm pretty sure only goes from the White Rogers to the relay. I don't think this one goes back to the pump, and I'm gonna check, but I'm pretty sure it doesn't, and I hope it doesn't because I already spliced into it. And I put my switch right here just temporarily to make sure that what I want to do is gonna work, and it does. So right now the key is on, but the switch is off, and check this out. Just like that, we have the pump on. So that's pretty cool. And then whenever we want to, we can flip it and turn it off. And now we don't have that annoying pump running in the background whenever we are running diagnostics or installing lights or a sound system or anything. That annoying noise isn't going to be in the back. We're not going to be putting extra wear and tear on the pump, which, like I said, I got to call up the guys at iRate Diesel and see what they tell me. Maybe we'll be replacing this pump with a better one soon, hopefully. But now that I know that this is going to work and that I like it, we're going to go ahead and run the actual wires that we need into the cab, mount this switch in a place that we like, and like I said, run the wires back, tap back in here, and clean everything up, and we should be done with this install. Again, like I said, it's always been really easy, and if you want to make it a lot simpler, just, you know, leave it here, put the switch. I mean, the thing with that though is that you really don't gain anything, because if you want to, you can just take out that fuse and you disable the whole pump. The reason why I want it in the cab is because, like I said, if I'm using torque on my head unit and I want to, you know, look at some different things, pull codes, anything like that, I can just flip a switch and turn off my fuel pump. And I just think that's pretty convenient. Now, it is a lot easier, I guess, to just flip a switch than to remove a fuse. So if that's what you want to do, again, you can just mount it in your engine bay, make it super easy, you know, put it somewhere around here and just, you know, flip it. Now, like I said, I want to make things a little bit more complicated for myself, so I'm gonna mount it in the cab. Now, obviously, this goes without say, but whenever you're messing with anything electrical, always disconnect your batteries. Mine were disconnected. I reconnected everything just to test it, but now that I'm gonna go ahead and mess with the wires again, I'm gonna go ahead, disconnect everything, and once I'm completely done with everything, we'll throw the battery cables back on. Which I might actually be making battery cables in the near future for this truck and for the green truck, because they both need it badly. Like, that terminal is on its last days. It doesn't tighten anymore, it's always loose. And it's definitely not good for starting or anything. So like I said, hopefully in the near future, we'll be making some battery cables here on the channel, which I am super excited about. But anyways, that's enough rambling. I'm gonna go ahead, finish this up, and then I'll show you guys how everything looks once I'm done with it. Okay guys, so we got this whole thing pretty much done, and kind of let me I guess run you through the process of how I did everything. Now, like I showed you, I spliced into my trigger wire right here on the loom for the E-Fuel kit. And then I've got these two cables, which just happen to also be yellow, going down the side of the frame, across the firewall. Oh, also these, I'm gonna wrap them in this loom. It's this braided loom. I think it's much better than that. I like a corrugated plastic loom, like the regular stuff. This stuff is a lot better. Highly recommend this stuff. I got this from Amazon, but you can get it from Amazon or pretty much anywhere nowadays. That stuff just works a lot better in my opinion than this type of loom. So anyways, like I said, I got it running across the firewall, and then it's gonna be hard to see, but right behind this tube, right there in the firewall, you probably can't see it. There's a small grommet for the 460 trucks, the gas trucks. That's where your throttle cable comes out from. Obviously, L7.3 guys don't have that, and that is a perfect spot to go through the firewall. And then again, sorry guys, you probably can't see anything. Yeah, you really can't. But anyways, it comes out right on top of the gas pedal, about an inch or so on top of the gas pedal. It came out right there. I wrapped it again in this loom, and then I again crimped it. Used some crimp connectors on this end. That worked pretty good, and it's pretty much done. So let's go ahead and test it. Right now it should be off. Key on, it's off. Flip the switch down and it's on. Isn't that cool? Now I can just flip it off. That is just amazing. I freaking love it. I absolutely love that I can control my fuel pump now that way. And I can't believe that it took me this long to do that. And if I haven't said this in this channel 1,000 times, I haven't said it once, but I hate wiring. And usually things that require wiring, I put them off like a lot because I just don't want to deal with wiring. But one of the things that I've said is that I really want to get better at wiring. So that's what I'm trying to tackle, all of these electrical stuff that I hadn't done before. So again, it might not be the most professional thing, but these are some really nice high quality crimp connectors. They worked really good. They're really solid. Like I crimped them on there pretty good. I tugged on them like really hard. They're not coming off, so I'm pretty confident that this will be okay. Now inside the cab, I actually wanted to use spade connectors. I ended up using the same kind of crimp connectors that I did on the other end. And like I said, I wanted to use spade connectors just so that I can disconnect it if I ever need to. Unfortunately, I actually ran out of those here at the house, so I have to order some new ones. But anyways, I think it'll be fine. I mounted my switch, as you saw, here on the dash, and the only reason why I mounted it right there is because I already had a hole in my dash right there, and I'm not gonna drill anywhere else for another switch, so I just mounted it right there. It's super easy to get to, you know, so that's where I left it. Now, if the purpose of that switch for me was to have it as a kill switch or a theft, it's not gonna prevent it, but it's gonna hopefully slow it down. I would definitely hide it somewhere better than just in the dash like I did. But yeah, and then if your truck doesn't have e-fuel, if it still has the mechanical fuel pump, replace it, get an e-fuel. Highly recommend it. And even though, like I said, the fuel pump might be going bad on this thing, like I said, I still gotta call the guys. I still do recommend the kit. It's a good kit. I would buy it again. But if I'm being honest, if I get another 7.3, which I probably will, I love these things, I actually want to give is it Marty? I think it's Marty's kit a try. I think that's an awesome setup as well. It's a little bit cheaper than the irate kit. The irate kit looks a lot better, honestly. The whole fuel filter base, you know, being billet and everything, I think looks pretty freaking badass. But Marty's kit looks great too, and like I said, on the next 7.3, I'll probably be giving them a try just to see, you know, what it's all about. Everyone talks great about that kit, and like I said, it's a little bit cheaper than this kit, so I might give that a try, or I might get all the lights and everything, and then get like a fast or an air dog. I think that'd be pretty cool too. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead, clean all of this up, shrink the shrink wrapping on, get all my loom and everything, get it all cleaned up, and then show you the finished product. Okay guys, and just like that, we are done with this install. We've got all of our cables cleaned up. They're kind of just shoved in there. It looks pretty nice right now because it's dark and you can't see them, but they are all in there. It's just a little loop of wires. It's nice because it gives me enough room, kind of like right now, to like pull them out and work on them. But it's not like super excessive. It's just that one little loop that's in there. And then we've got those two yellow cables in that loom that I showed you, going, like I said, on the side of the fender, up the brake booster, and then into that little port right there on the firewall. Again, looks super clean. Doesn't look like I added any cables whatsoever. That's why I liked it. And like I said, that's kind of my goal, to kind of try and keep this as clean as possible. So at least from here, you can't see that I added anything. And that's kind of the way that it is in the interior too. We've got our switch right there, and then, I mean, obviously it's dark so you can't see anything, but everything under here looks super clean. I mean, other than all the cables that were already there, but at least the new cable, I was able to hide it up nice and out of the way. It's not in the way of any of the pedals, the steering column, or anything, so it's really nice. Really happy with the install, and like I said, I love that now I have control over my fuel pump. Again, like I said, maybe it's a band-aid, but like I said, I'm going to talk to the guys over at Ira Diesel and see what they tell me, and then on next video I'll let you guys know. Okay guys, so that's going to be it for this video. Again, like I said, I'm pretty happy with what we did. Again, I love the functionality of having that switch now. And like I've said before, these videos, especially anything that's electrical, is not my main thing. So obviously always research what you're doing. Don't forget to disconnect and reconnect your battery terminals. Stay safe. If you like the video, leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave a comment down below, and we'll see you on the next one.